Hi, I'm Kingsley Vaux. I farm just north of Ongerup in the southwest of WA, and I farm nearly 4,000 hectares with my wife Sandy, and occasionally with my children when they're home to do a bit of work. Our rainfall varies from 300 to 380 mil, usually around about 330. Soil types are mainly heavier soil types, clay, good medic country, dispersed into lake bank country, which we're in now, and very little sand plain. We don't grow very many lupins, but we grow peas, wheat, oats and barley and canola, and we run 5,000 sheep. I'm a fourth generation farming family. We started here in 1913, and being some of the original family farmed blocks, we've encountered salt fairly early, so that really got me onto the trying to do something with conservation and trying to stop that salt table coming up, hence planting quite a fair few trees, lucerne, and anything that can use the extra water. We've got interested in planting trees back in the 80s, started collecting seed, and now we've got a seed collecting business. We sell a bit of seed and we also do tree planting and direct seeding. And I think we really need to do this. If we hadn't have done some of the conservation works over the last 20 odd years, I'm damn sure we'd have a lot more salt and a lot less production. Every farm seems to have those annoying little spots where it's not really productive to continue farming, but it's quite handy to put it in the trees for shelter for the stock. Had been planting trees for quite some time, and I was always on the lookout for a return. It's great to plant all these trees, but you've actually got to survive. And I think we found one in this sandalwood, and the only regret I have is that I didn't do it earlier, as it is about a 25-year turnaround. But yeah, that looks like it could be a good one. We've got to not only have income just from sheep and cropping, but other things, as many things as we can have in our basket, the better it is. We had one situation where we planted lupins, and it failed because salt came out through the fence. It was quite a wet year, so we fenced right out around it and planted quite salt tolerant trees around it and dried up the salt scald. That's fantastic. But within 4 years we planted these rhodolens, and within 4 years we had blue wrens nesting in the space where it was bare cropping area. So nature really does come back, and you give it a chance, it'll help you along as well. So this is the site that we had a tree company come in and rip a mound, and we planted the sandalwood. This was planted in 2002. Jeff Woodall was very instrumental in helping us get it going, and Steve Newby, and we direct seeded the area, and then we had a crew come in, a green schools crew come and plant a seedling and a pre-germinated sandalwood seed down the little tree planters. And that's how we established it, and we've since come back 3 or 4 times and tried to thicken up by planting more sandalwood seeds in amongst the hosts. But they've established well, and they're all onto the hosts now, and you can see there's a great amount of anything to live off, so they're doing pretty good, and I'm pretty excited about this. Okay, this little spot here is, we had a few salt problems in the lower area here, and we decided we'd fence it off because it's pretty good land. We didn't want to lose any more, so we planted off to these species, and it actually became quite handy because we planted these rhodolens, acacia rhodolens. This is the upright version. We're now harvesting seed for sale here, and probably every year we get the land value by harvesting the seed. So, and it's really dried the area out, and we've also picked this obesa seed, and there's a few other species down in the salt there which we get. There was some salt bush which has died out. I think it's just dried out. The salt scald disappeared, and it's all a plus. Okay, this area we planted in about 92 or 93, and we used to get bog coming through this area with the tractors when it was a bit wet, ploughing the paddock up, and had a salt scald appear here. So the area we're standing in right now was actually bare, and now we've got clover and grass growing back here, so I reckon that's all right. Now, this is one of the first plantings I did when I came home from school, which was about 73 and 74, and this area was just a dust bowl. It was just a salt scald. Sheep used to camp on it, and it blew and blew and blew, and it covered the fence up over on the road here, and we planted by a spade and a pick as a result of all these larger trees that are growing around the perimeter here. They survived, and the scald was almost to the edge of the big trees. It's covered right in. I don't think we'll ever get that back completely, but it's covered up and there's no blow, and we actually get a bit of grazing out of it now. This area here is about 14 hectares. It's an annoying little piece, and I guess lots of farms have got these pieces, but it had a salt lake on it, or salty lake through it. We never ever cropped, it was covered in broom bush. And then we had other areas which were starting to go salty, and we direct seeded these trees here thinking we were going to go firewood with sugar gums and fence posts perhaps with the white gums. And then we had a guy come in and say, oh, don't chop these down for fence posts, these look fantastic, let's trim them up and make timber trees out of the sugar gums. And I thought, yeah, well, why not, we'll have a go. So that's what's happened, and we've got a few around here which are looking quite good. And then sandalwood came into vogue in 2003 or 2004. We planted the sandalwood, which was 3 hectares, which is looking quite good too. So yeah, it's an interesting little piece, and hopefully we'll get a bit of return. We may get some fence posts, we may get some timber, and we'll certainly get some sandalwood. This site consists of 42 hectares, of which there's a remnant lake in it. And I actually was able to get some funding through the South Coast, and Green Skills and Forest Products did a trial on dryland timber over 8 hectare piece, which is what we're standing in here. And they've come and trimmed the trees, and we've got spotted gum like maculata, and several provinces of calacax, whatever it is, a sugar gum, I can't say it. Some she oak. I think that's about the extent of the tree trial. And you can see this was planted in 2002, so we're now 8 years old, and in this rainfall I reckon they're doing pretty well. I think if we can get more people involved in planting trees with the sandalwood, so we can get a cooperative going to sell the product, and also the oil mallees have proven that if they can get enough people in an area to do it, then it makes it viable. But to do it on your own, we really need to get the critical mass up of production of all these industries. There's also, if I haven't mentioned, is brushwood from the tea tree. You know, if we could get enough of that, then we could have a small factory producing the panels. So, yeah, if we could get farmers, adjoining farmers, neighbours, half a dozen together to do little areas, and then it would make it viable.